SCP-238, Object Class Euclid, Assigned Site Site-163, Site Director Dr. Judith Lowe, Research Head Dr. Sergei Zurevlev, Assigned to MTF She-8, The Last to Fall. SCP-238 refers to an extensive network of underground tunnels and chambers theorized to exist within a pocket dimension outside our prime reality. To date, the only known entrance to SCP-238 is through an intricately carved stone structure discovered in a cave on Shmida Island, Russia. Despite multiple attempts to map the entirety of SCP-238, it is not currently known how extensive the SCP-238 facility is. While the area immediately surrounding the entrance to SCP-238 appears to be carved from rock similar in composition to that found in the Shmida Island region, the composition shifts radically the further into the facility one explores. Samples taken periodically throughout the explored areas of the complex have displayed internal properties similar to rock formations found throughout the Ural, Baltic, and Mediterranean substrata. Additionally, significant portions of the SCP-238 complex appear to be comprised of organic tissue. While a majority of this tissue consists of calcified bone, there are some sections of the facility's superstructure that retain characteristics most commonly found in still living human tissue. Discovery. The Foundation first became aware of SCP-238 during the acquisition of records from former GRU Division P assets in the aftermath of the fall of the USSR. While the coordinates of SCP-238 were listed in Division P files, no records of the initial discovery have yet been located. Access to the SCP-238 cave has been sealed by Division P operatives, though no records remain as to the original rationale behind this decision. Due to its extremely remote location, research into the anomaly was deemed a low priority by Foundation administration until reports surfaced of a missing Russian Federation Arctic survey team that had been assigned to study glaciers in the Severnaya Zemlya archipelago. A Foundation team sent to investigate the report found the receding Schmidt ice cap had exposed the entrance to the SCP-238 cave, and the Division P containment barrier had been recently breached by unknown entities. While several expeditions into SCP-238 located evidence of their passage, no members of the Russian survey team were ever found. Additional research. In April of 1997, a Foundation expedition under the leadership of Foundation parageologist Dr. Sergei Zurevlev was sent to Shmida Island in order to ascertain the whereabouts of the missing survey team, as well as to set up provisional Site-163 in order to begin research into the SCP-238 anomaly. Overall management of the 238 research was originally assigned to Dr. Inga Ilyinishin, the Siberia Region Director. SCP-238 Initial Report. SCP-F Internal Memorandum from Dr. Sergei Zurevlev to Dr. Inga Ilyinishin. Date 8th of May 1997. RE SCP-238 Initial Report. We've been at it for about a month now, and I figured you guys were itching for a proper report. When we first arrived, the cave opening was still relatively clear of ice, but it's damn cold up here. The only reason it hadn't frozen over yet was because of the precious little rainfall. Even so, setting up P Site-163 has been a chore. We finally finished setting up our foothold on Shmidta and finished up the preliminary examinations of the SCP-238 portal. It was easy to confirm that the area on the other side is definitely not part of our prime reality. None of the tunnels and structures visible through the 238 aperture show up on GPR, and the multi-D rep you sent us with has been having a field day studying the energy bleed from the event horizon. He was going on and on about stable Einstein-Rosen bridges, and he seemed quite happy to sit in the cave and study his instrument readouts. When he finally gave the go-ahead, I sent in the first expedition with the intent of scouting out the area immediately surrounding the opening. The good news is that we can run a hard line to the repeater array set up just on the other side of the event horizon. The bad news is that the 238 pocket is much, much larger than we originally anticipated. The repeater we placed in there only has a range of about 1,000 meters in that place. We hit that pretty quick. So far, we found very little of interest. One of the expedition guys found a beat-up old camera that we were able to confirm was owned by Dr. Pyotr Bravikov, one of the Arctic Survey scientists. The casing was heavily damaged and the data card was irretrievably corrupted. We were able to get a single image from it, however. It's mostly unhelpful as it shows the hallway just inside 238, but I'm attaching it for reference anyway. You might want to consider sending out a linguist. A little past the first junction, we found some writing on the walls painted in some sort of ochre. I'm including a picture of that as well. Regards, Zurevlev. The writing found on the cave wall was determined to be an archaic form of anti-mimetic cognitohazardous glyphs known as IRMA, utilized by adherents to Sarnian proto-Sarkicism. As such, management of SCP-238 research was reassigned to Citra Accra personnel under the direction of Dr. Judith Lowe. Further expeditions into SCP-238 were indefinitely postponed due to budgetary shortfalls. File update. On the 2nd of February 2020, cameras in the SCP-238 containment area recorded a figure stepping out of a portal. The figure appeared to be suffering from an advanced stage of SCP-610 infection, but was able to ambulate into the room utilizing 6 of 8 limbs. It moved into the containment area and spent several minutes examining the containment gate before retreating back into the SCP-238 aperture. 05 Executive Override Order 238-086. Governance of SCP-238 has been reassigned to the Kalipat Noga Initiative and has been slated for decommissioning. At no point should any Foundation personnel attempt to enter or disturb the SCP-238 archway. Any personnel attempting to violate this order will be subject to immediate termination. SCP-238 has been sealed. May those that reside within find whatever piece they are searching for. Footnotes. 1. Ground-penetrating radar. 2. Dr. Leonid Volokov, L03 Department of Multidimensional Research. 3. An Einstein-Rosen bridge is more commonly referred to as a wormhole, a hyperwave bridge connecting two different iterations of space-time. For further information regarding ER wormholes, see De Benedictis, Andrian Das, A. 2001, on a general class of wormhole geometries, classical and quantum gravity. 4. Slang, extra-dimensional. Zeta 9 members are specifically trained in navigating extra-dimensional spaces. 5. An old Aditite, lusting, hungry flesh. 6. Old Aditite. Song, prayer for strength. Special containment procedures. SCP-238 has been contained in situ. A 5-kilometer exclusion zone has been set up around Schmidta Island under cover story Omega Green 12 Ecological Preservation Area. All Foundation naval assets stationed at Provisional Site 163 have been disguised as Russian Federation Navy and tasked with preventing access to Schmidta Island. Exploration of the SCP-238 complex has been indefinitely suspended as per 05 Executive Order 05 Order 238-086. Any entities attempting to breach the SCP-238 exclusion zone are to be dissuaded from doing so whenever possible. Any entities apprehended on Schmidta Island are to be detained for questioning. Entities observed gaining access to SCP-238 are to be presumed lost. Under no circumstances are Foundation assets to attempt any form of retrieval. The containment wing of Provisional Site 163 has been built around the opening to the cave housing the SCP-238 entrance, and access has been limited to L-04 238 researchers only.